friends, greetings and welcome to The Bright Side, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and sometimes deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your health and vitality and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to The Bright Side every day, you are more and more in control of your body. You are more and more knowledgeable, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we're here every day on The Bright Side, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 29 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, rosacea, eczema, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds, recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human body is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that a miracle, it really is just the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, we want to hear from you. Let us show you how easy it can be to reverse any, and I mean any, chronic degenerative disease. It's in the body's nature to heal. If you're dealing with arthritis or diabetes or an autoimmune issue, heart disease, whatever, please know that the body is a healing system. It's designed to heal. Not that we do any work. It does the work. All we got to do is figure out what's mucking up the system and put some good nutrition in, work on some mental and emotional strategies, spiritual strategies, and that's it. It's in the nature of the body to heal. Nobody has to suffer. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you have health challenges you want help with, if you want to wean yourself off your meds, if you've got a question or comment about the longevity products, 844-236-6010 is our number. We got a guest at the bottom of the hour. Dr. Jonathan Graff is going to be talking to us about the secrets for reversing hair loss. And Dr. Graff says there's three. He says there's only three ways to do it. I think he's a medical. Let me see if he's a medical doctor here. Director of Clinical Education at Apura Science. No, he's not a medical doctor, but he's got three. He says there's only three ways to reverse hair loss. We'll talk to Jonathan Graff at the bottom of the hour. Take your calls in our next segment. 844-236-6010 is our number. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products you hear advertised on the program, head over to brightsideben.com, also pharmacistben.com or criticalhealthnews.com. And if you want to purchase any of our Truth Treatment products, including our retinol 5% gel, leverage the power of retinol. If you haven't been able to use retinol in the past or retinoic acid in the past, this is a product that you want to check out. It's made with vitamin C, it's made with retinol, and none of the crap. No preservatives, no fragrances, no waxes, no oils, no nothing that your skin doesn't need or want. TruthTreatments.com, retinol 5% gel. You can also check out our other Truth Treatment products, TruthTreatments.com. All right, we're talking about fats and water and the distinction between the two. We said there's two categories of substances that a cell needs to do its business, watery and fatty. Fat-soluble nutrients, your EFAs, fatty vitamins, some of the minerals. They're a little trickier to work with than the watery substances. We're talking skin health, so we've been focusing on fats. The skin is a fatty organ. And because fats are so sticky and difficult for the body to process, if you're talking about fats and getting the value of vitamin A and value of vitamin E and K and D and your EFAs, it's not enough just to take them. I hear this all the time, but I'm taking my vitamin A and I'm taking my EFAs, but my hands still look like crap, and I still got eczema, and I still got psoriasis, and I still have dry skin. That's because fats are tricky. They're sticky. They're sticky and they're tricky to absorb, to utilize, for the body to utilize. And because steroid hormones, growth hormones, fertility hormones all come from those fats, you got to be careful, especially if you're getting older. You got to be careful about making sure you're absorbing your fats. And there's lots of ways to support fat absorption. And in my opinion, especially as we get older, these strategies for improving fat absorption are just as important as nutritional supplementation. Again, if you're not, you can take all the nutrition you want, but if you're not absorbing, that doesn't help you. Bile salts, a must have for a lot of reasons. Bile salts are actually almost like hormones themselves. They are just powerful, powerful substances, and you can get them over the counter. You can get them at a health food store, and you can get them from your Ultimate Enzymes from Youngevity. The Ultimate Enzymes are an amazing multifunctional health product for blood thinning, for anti-inflammatory effects, for digestion. Now, the bile salts are basically digestive, but they also are involved in turning on the amping up the digestive system, revving it up. Not just in helping us absorb fats, but in overall digestion. I love, by the way, lecithin. And lecithin and bile have a very, very interesting relationship. Apple cider vinegar, lipase, chewing your food. These are all great strategies. We'll talk about these here probably tomorrow. We'll get to talking about these individually. And keep your gallbladder. You need your gallbladder. Unless you are in absolute misery and severe agony and you have no other option for dealing with the pain of a gallstone, keep your gallbladder. The gallbladder is a bag of bile. And yes, it's true that you can survive without this bag of bile, but you can't optimally digest your food. All you have to do is understand a little anatomy and a little biology, not a lot. When we eat a food, it goes into our stomach does its business, it grinds up the food, and then it saturates it with enzymes, and then that food from the stomach drops into the intestine. There's a little connection right at the bottom of the stomach to the intestine, a valve that opens up. Actually, it's a sphincter. It's a muscle thing. I think it's a muscle thing. Whatever it is, it goes from the stomach to the intestine. And as soon as it hits the intestine, boom, a blast o' bile comes into that juncture right at the beginning of the intestine. It just hits from the gallbladder. It hits that food that's just dropped into the intestine and completely changes the quality of that food. It digests it. It breaks it down. It neutralizes it. It changes that mass. Now, without that gallbladder, that's not going to happen. And that food's going to sit there. And it's true that you can get a little tiny drop of bile coming in from the liver, but you don't get that big hit that comes from the gallbladder unless you have a gallbladder. Keep your gallbladder. 20 million Americans have gallstones, and gallstones are a sign of, obviously, if you understand a little biology and a little anatomy, you know what a gallstone is. Check this out. There are so many people, millions, 20 million Americans maybe have gallstone problems. And I'll bet you not 1% knows what a gallstone really is. And how the heck are we going to take care of our gallstones or our gallbladders or our bodies in general if we don't understand these kinds of basic things? If we got stones and the doctor says to us, oh, you're going to have to take your gallbladder out, sir, ma'am, it's usually women, we're going to have to take your gallbladder out. And you don't know what the gallbladder does, you don't know what causes a gallstone, you're going to be much more likely to listen to the so-called authority. Well, that's what this program is. That's where this program comes in. We make you the authority, as it should be. We should be our own authorities. Authority comes from the word author, as in writing your story. When we have health authorities, we got some doctor writing our health story for us. That's not good. That's why we're so sick, because we let other people write our stories. So be your own health authority, understand what the body's about, keep your gallbladder, understand that gallstones are a sign of dirty bile. Here's the thing about bile that's so fascinating and makes it so important and so underappreciated. Bile equals detox. Not only is bile absolutely vital for helping you digest your food, but bile helps clean out drugs. It helps clean out old hormones. It helps clean out food allergens. It helps process and clean out the blood. Basically, we always say on this program that all disease is dirty blood, all degenerative disease is dirty blood. So the logical question is how can we clean our blood? Well, bile's a blood cleaner. Bile helps the body dump out waste. If we get a lot of waste, we're going to end up with dirty, sludgy bile. Hence your gallstones. That's where gallstones come from. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. You're listening to The Bright Side on the Genesis Communication Network. We'll come back and take your phone calls. 844-236-6210 is our number. Don't go away. Got more good health information and your phone calls right after this. Okay, welcome back to The Bright Side. Got Jonathan Graff coming up at the bottom of the hour. We're going to talk about hair loss. Jonathan Graff says there are only 3 ways to reverse hair loss, and this is going to be kind of interesting. Jonathan is the Director of Clinical Education at Aspira Science. We'll get to him at the bottom of the hour. We'll take your phone calls. This segment, 844-236-6010 is our number. If you're interested in purchasing any of our Truth Treatment products, including our Retinol 5% gel or our Omega-6 Healing Cream or Truth Serum or Truth Balm, all made without preservatives and fragrances and without wax and oil. And only thing I use in my formulations from now on, I admit I had to be a mercenary back in the day. I had partners and I had to be much more bottom line concentrated. But what I always wanted to do was create products that were just the things your skin needs. No oil, no wax, no preservative. Why should you have to pay for that stuff? Well, it's not helping you at all. It's not providing you with any benefit at all. If you could figure out how to formulate without it, wouldn't that make sense? Well, you can. It just takes a little know-how, and it is a little bit more expensive to do it that way, but it's worth it. You end up with products that last a long time, that have high amounts of activity, and that don't force you to have to deal with toxicity or waste, and you get more bang for your buck. It's only fair. It's only honest. That's why I call it the truth. TruthTreatments.com, Retinol 5% gel. That's my favorite. That's the most powerful of our products. If you're interested in joining the longevity team, call the Brightside Ben phone team, please, at 866-735-2470. Okay, let's see. Tomorrow we'll talk about a couple really cool ingredients, maybe 2 or 3 really, really cool ingredients that aren't necessarily, they don't have the reputation that nutritional supplements have, but they've got really wonderful health benefits. And we've talked about these in the past, but some people are still skeptical. And I do sometimes read about how using a couple of these ingredients in particular is more about marketing and more scammery than it is accurate health information. But I'm going to tell you tomorrow why that's not true. Particularly I'm talking about apple cider vinegar. And then also lecithin granules. We'll do that tomorrow on the Bright Side as we continue talking fats and fat absorption and hormones and skin health on the Bright Side. 844-236-6010 is our number. Let's go to Mr. X in Tennessee. What's up, Mr. X? You out there in the woods somewhere in Tennessee?
Yeah. Out here in a hovel, a little hermit's den. So anyway, I've called strangely over some of the stuff you're even going to talk about later with the hair return. I want to talk about hygiene.
Okay.
I read it was everywhere. You probably saw it. Man doesn't take a shower in 12 years. Sprays himself with good bacteria, as he calls it.
I hadn't seen that, but that's kind of interesting.
Have you seen that?
No. Go ahead, though.
Oh, it was everywhere. It was all over ABC, UK, all
recently.
Mirror.
Recently?
Telegraph.
Recently?
Yeah. He's a scientist, and he started wondering, but what, because his friend asked him about horse taking dirt baths in the dirt and why they could, stay clean and healthy. So he, anyway, I only say this because I have come to a similar thing. I don't spray bacteria on my skin. I do cultivate the good bacteria and leave it there, and in doing that, I've quit using all of the scented, perfumed, any product.
That's
that
awesome.
is not all I use on my skin are oils and hydrogen peroxide and
That's
clean
awesome.
water. I don't use chlorinated water on my skin.
Let me ask you a couple questions. If you don't mind here, because we're going to run out of time. First of all, the hydrogen peroxide is going to kill the bacteria. First of all, right? So if you do okay. So you're saying you spray probiotics on your skin instead of cleansers and soap?
I do not. The 3 things I put on my skin are things I do put. If I need something, I'll put silver or apple cider vinegar or such things on my skin. But the first thing I go to is hydrogen peroxide. But I also use that to clean. Let me just quickly. No, I don't do it. What this guy does. You can look it up. But
will you send me a link? Do you have a link? Do you have a link for it or anything? I could do some research, I suppose. But if you have a link, that'd be great if you could send it to me.
It doesn't matter. I mean, his thing is, I'm trying to. Let me quickly tell you about mine. I don't care about his. His is kind of bull. But what I'm talking about is I haven't taken a shower for a couple of years myself, and I don't use processed water. I don't use any of the perfumes or treatments or the steroids or the shampoo. You were talking about your friend about the hair. My hair, people are noticing that I've known for a long time that my hair is returning because I haven't done this in several years.
You haven't used shampoo or washed your hair or anything like that?
No.
Do you use
I don't.
anything on your hair at all?
I use hydrogen peroxide on my head for years. It stays clean. I used to have